Balls.
Wait, did you start?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. This is Hot Dog Water. I'm Asher, that's Liam.
Hi.
Um,
What's up?
yeah.
Um,
Today, I guess we're talking about school as a
School.
general topic,
Yeah.
but yeah, nothing that specific about it.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Yeah.
I'm also
Do you want
eating
to start
again.
with a... Oh, damn it. I was just about to ask if you wanted to start with your
No, you
fact.
start. Your fault. You start.
Okay, okay. So there's this one college called Carleton College. Um, I do have this thing like before finals called Primal Scream, where like there's this one part of campus where like they like at the same time students will gather and then just scream. Um, it wasn't I that wasn't what I was gonna say about it, but that's just like something that they do on top of a silent dance party, which I thought was interesting. So they like download the same like hour-long playlist, and then they meet up at the library. So like at 11 p.m., uh, basically everyone is dancing at the same time to the same stuff, but like just silently if you're not listening to the music at the same time. But then yeah, like just basically all throughout that campus of Carleton College, the students are doing a silent dance party, which I thought was cute.
I have a new college choice now. Apparently,
College what?
I have a new college choice now. Apparently.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should think about going. Just for that. And the scream,
So
obviously.
mine is the reason why students give their teacher apples is because a tradition back in the 16th century in Denmark, teachers didn't earn enough food or money, so parents would send their children to school with apples.
Oh.
So let's say that the pay for teachers hasn't changed.
Hmm. Yeah, I was like, what do you mean back then they didn't have enough food or money?
They don't have enough now.
They don't even have enough now.
Food. Oh, school.
Yeah. Yeah, school. I didn't
You're
think
in
enough
college.
about this. I am in college currently. It's my second year as a college student. Gotta say that my first year was pretty uneventful, mainly because COVID was a thing.
I think
So
it was
I
fun. I
didn't
had
really
fun.
do anything that year, except be sad. I
Did
wish
anything
I was
happen in
kidding.
college? Anything funny?
Anything funny?
For the first year, the sad year that you were just talking about.
Oh, I don't know. I mainly interacted with people online. Like I just had
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of online friends. You were among them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I really didn't experience much
Kind of
that
just
first
existed.
year. Yeah, I can't even think of anything like fun that happened at work when I was there. So,
Loser.
oh,
I'm sorry.
ew. I mean, I could talk about like the the dog that I dissected for a whole semester, but that's
No.
the most interesting thing I can think
I
of
thought you were
that
gonna talk
happened that
about
first year.
gorilla.
Really?
Your your dad being a gorilla.
No, I'm not gonna talk about. I'm not gonna talk about that.
I heard gorilla, and I thought my brain replaced dog with gorilla. Don't worry about it.
Gorilla that I dissected all semester. Hmm. Yeah, that was where
Oh.
all of my school's money went that year, was like
Buying this
getting
gorilla and killing
getting
it.
the animal anatomy students a gorilla to dissect.
Oh shit, Harambe, no. That's where he went.
After however many years, yeah.
He was found again. Um. 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 Um.
Um,
Um.
you're a
Um.
high school student.
I am an
Has anything weird
upperclassman.
happened? Well, fine. Has anything weird happened in your school?
Recently,
Yeah, sure. Recently.
devious licks.
Sorry, what?
Devious licks, where people steal obscenely large things from the school and don't bring it back.
Oh, no, we did have some of that.
Yeah, someone stole hand sanitizer and an exit sign.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that, like, the whole sink has been messed up or, like, missing at one point. Um, I think, like, someone took down one of the bathroom stall doors. I don't think they managed to get it out of the school, but they definitely, like, disassembled it. Yeah, people did weird shit in the
I've seen people
bathrooms.
steal urinals from their school.
Oh, nice. We always knew which ones people smoked in or like vaped in because you could just smell it after walking in, but it was consistently in one building. Like it was for some reason just that bathroom was the one that people would use the most.
Ew. Ew. My Since I go to a private school, it's pretty boring since we're limited to a lot of things. I'm thankful I
There's-
don't have uniforms though. I think I would cry if I had uniforms.
hmm. I had to wear uniforms in elementary school.
Ew.
Pretty much up until like it was just kindergarten through second because I didn't stay at the same one like all throughout fifth grade. But those sucked. I hated those.
Good. As you should. Oh, is this personal or TMI? Probably.
I'll let you know if it is. You can go ahead and ask whatever.
The story where I had to bring pants to school every day.
Oh, this is TMI for you, not for me. But I don't care if you talk about it.
Okay, so I had a peeing problem
As
from
all good stories start out.
from kindergarten to first grade. Um, I was terrified of the bathrooms in the section of the school that I was in. Um, I went to this school from pre-K to third grade, and first grade and kindergarten. I always hated the bathrooms near the pre-K section of the building, and only because they scared me, and I don't know, I just was scared of going to the bathroom alone. So I thought it would be smart to pee myself. But then what I didn't realize is through peeing myself, I had to go into the bathroom to change my pants. So it got to a point where my mom would have to go back to the, because she worked at the school I went to. So she had to go back home, get me pants, which I live like a good 40 minutes away from the school. So she had to drive home, get pants, and then come back. Or sometimes when I didn't even have any pants left because I pissed through all of them, she had to go to Target and buy more pants for me just so I can have some throughout the school day. But it started to become a thing that the teachers knew. Like one time I was sitting in choir and I just had that look. And my choir teacher looked down at me and went, "Go." And I was like, "Okay," so I ran. But it didn't help that when second and third grade hit, I was friends with the eighth graders because they thought it was funny or cute or whatever. I don't know. I was a cute kid. I don't know. But they would take me into the bathroom and then they would play Bloody Mary in the mirrors, and that bathroom was haunted as fuck. There was something there. And so them just playing Bloody Mary, first of all, scarred me from ever going to any bathroom in that school again, especially that one in particular. And Bloody Mary always irked me because it just scarred me as a child because they were like, "She almost ripped out my eyes." I'm like, "Stop it! Stop it!" It
Wait, like Bloody Mary almost what?
like they would tell stories about how Bloody Mary would show up in the mirror at the school when they did it. But
Oh,
I remember
okay.
going in there and the lights were all out and kids were like hiding behind the stall doors and like hiding in the stalls and hiding behind the walls that separated the doorway from the
Mhm.
bathroom. So I would walk in and be like and just walk out.
Did you ever try and summon her as a kid?
Hell no. Only because of that. Like I was I was also knee deep in like the Charlie Charlie challenge.
Uh,
You remember that with the pieces of paper and the
yeah,
pencils?
like the pencils. Yeah.
Yeah, I was scared of that shit too. And so since all of that was just like around me, I just hated it cuz I remember we would there's like this park that's like you have to walk a ways away from the school to get to, but it's like on the property. And so aftercare, we would go over there to play and a bunch of the eighth graders, like a good like 15, 20 of the eighth graders that were staying after school went back to the bathroom in a group to play Bloody Mary. And I wanted to go, but then I realized I would rather be alone and pee myself than go to the bathroom where that would happen. So there you have it. I have pissing problems and bathroom problems. I still hate school bathrooms. I hate going to school bathrooms.
Yeah, I would try and avoid them as much as I could.
They're just not
They
just
just
because they're nasty, just because I think that someone's gonna, I don't know, reach their hand through the toilet hole and just pull me through or something.
I just hate the gaps between stall doors. Like that's always the worst part about
What?
what?
What do you
I
mean
mean,
the gaps between stall doors?
the gaps between stall doors. Like,
You didn't like the
'cause they
stall
don't
door that separated you?
it didn't no, I thought the doors themselves were great. I hated that they were spaced the way that they were, you know? Like they could have just made it just a little bit wider, but for some reason there's like just enough space where there's like the possibility that you'll make eye contact with whoever is at the sink and like looking in the mirror or whatever. Like it's so
Oh,
fucking weird. I don't
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yes, like the space between the door and then the bar thing.
But I can't be the only one that like stared at my friends through that hole when they were going pee.
What?
You didn't do that? I would like walk up to the door and just
I
stare
didn't
at
do
them.
that. No, I didn't do that.
So you're telling me I'm fucked up. I see.
Yeah, if I mean, I would tend to go with friends, but we didn't stare at each other through the stall door.
No, I would make like dead ass eye contact with them while they were peeing.
Mm.
Notice how I said would. This was like forever ago. This was like fifth grade.
Mm.
Wow. I hate school bathrooms. I just. They're creepy.
They are creepy. Especially, I mean, it's nice to be the only person in them. There's also something weird about them. Just as a type of space, they feel weird.
Like a liminal space. Like a liminal space.
Kind of, yeah. Especially when it's at the end of the school day. Like most of the people in the school itself have already gone home and everything. And then the bathrooms are especially quiet.
Okay, but being at school at night, that's like. It feels so much better for some reason.
I feel illegal. You shouldn't be there at that time of day.
It's just. It feels so much cooler though, because you're like one of the only people there. And it's such a big building that you could just be in.
Mm.
And you could shit in the bathrooms without anyone being worried. Without worrying anybody walking in on you.
Is that your favorite part of it? Just being able to shit without being disturbed?
Yes. It's so bad. We've talked about this before. Just being in
We
a
have
stand up
talked
with a
about it.
person being in a stall next to you.
Yeah.
It's so nasty. And why do people, like when you're going pee and there's like 20 other stalls, why do they decide to sit in the one that's exactly right next to you? Like, do they
I
have a
don't know.
problem?
Yes.
They just want to hear me They just want to. I will steal their shoes. Next person that does that. I'm just gonna crawl underneath the stall door and steal their shoes. And pants them if they're standing up. School lunches.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I was about to say, like, have you always gone to a private school?
Yes, I've never gone to a public school.
Okay. So what were your school lunches like? Because I don't know if there's like that big of a difference between private schools and public schools. I always like only went to public schools.
Well, I went to a public school for 3 days, and then I got bullied, so I left.
Oh,
The last day, they're like, "Why are you leaving?" I'm like, "What? What? Uh, uh, okay." Anyways,
you all
um,
suck.
so after that, I went to a new school,
Mhm.
where I graduated uh, 8th grade at, and
Ew.
for for lunches, it was divided by like classes. Like it would be sixth, seventh, and eighth graders, and like fifth, fourth, and third. And we would have to go to the basement to eat lunch, where there was like a good 12 long tables that had like
Mhm.
seats. And
That sounds creepy.
eh, kind of. When you're in that, I would never go there. Even now, I would never go in that basement with the lights out at dark
Mm.
alone, because it just feels wrong. The bathrooms in that basement also just feel incredibly wrong. Like if, because sometimes you know how like the bathroom lights are on a timer.
Hmm.
Sometimes the timer is just like 5 seconds, so you sit down to pee, and then the lights go out, and then you shit yourself.
Yes.
That's why. Do you shower when you're like home alone?
Yeah.
Ew.
What do you mean, ew? It's like actually one of my favorite things to
What?
like, having the house to myself in general. That's great.
Yeah, but
Being able to just like what?
the shower. Are you not scared that you're just gonna get murdered? You're completely vulnerable in
No.
the shower.
Okay.
What do you mean,
I
okay?
mean, it is okay.
You're not
It
afraid
used to
of
be
death, are you?
something that I was paranoid about, but uh, I a lot of that paranoia kind of came from getting too caught up in like scary movies and stuff
Mm,
that I'd seen, or just making stuff up that I could be scared of. So I just kind of stopped doing that, and then it stopped bothering me.
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
The lunches at my school, we never had pre-prepared lunches. Like, you wouldn't buy lunch, you would have to bring lunch. But they sold milk, and half the time the milk was expired.
Yeah.
And occasionally, like every other Friday, it would be hot lunch, where you would get like, I don't know, like lasagna or something. But it always looked good.
Mm.
But given it was a private school, it was good. Oh my god, sometimes they got Papa John's on Fridays. Oh my god.
Sometimes got that on Fridays.
Got what?
We sometimes got that on Fridays. Like,
Papa
our
John's?
pizza was just
Yes.
sad. Yeah.
No, I went to. Listen, you have to pay a lot to go to a private school for some reason. And apparently, a lot of that tuition can go to Papa John's. So, I'm fine with that.
Mm.
I'm not even paying it.
I'm kind of like, I want to send you pictures of stuff that I ate, um, and see, like, if you recognize it at all. Because
Probably
me looking
not.
at this now, it just makes me super sad that I actually ate this sometimes. So, there's the first one.
I mean, the lunches at my school now for high school are total ass cheeks. What? Um. Oh my god. Oh.
That is actually what it looked like. Um, I think they called it, like, cheesy bread.
Mm-mm. That's not what that is.
It was literally just, like, really sad bread dough wrapped around mozzarella question mark, mozzarella-ish cheese, and they gave you like a cup of marinara sauce to have with it.
That's so sad. But also just the
It wasn't
marinara being on the plate is so sad.
well, yeah, that
It's
wasn't what
not
I was
even in a
like trying to
cup.
find though. No, we had cups, at least.
Okay, I was gonna say, that's
What is
just.
this thing even called? Oh, yeah, this. This is so fucking sad. Why did we eat this? Okay, hang on.
Oh,
Um,
the ranch is burning my throat.
oh, rip. Sometimes they gave us this, and this is a much nicer looking picture of
Yeah,
it,
that
but it
looks
was just
good.
like garlic bread with cheese on it. And that was like what they counted as an entree.
Your school has a thing with bread and cheese.
No, yeah, because it's cheap. Yeah. I don't know, sometimes there was lasagna, there was like, uh, probably, I mean, not even probably, but frozen enchiladas. Mm, yeah, lots of canned fruit. That was something that they tried to feed us every day.
That's nasty. My school loves chicken for like no reason. Like every single lunch has chicken in it.
Hmm.
It's like a chicken bowl. I don't know what it's like mashed potatoes, corn, like packaged gravy and chicken just mashed into one bowl.
Ew. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I'd eat it, but also,
Ew!
ugh.
What is wrong with you?
There's a lot of things that I would eat, and very few that I wouldn't. It, but what's with that laugh?
But you yes.
Oh, shut up. Shut up.
Oh, that's another thing. Oh, apparently this was
What,
not at my
eating
school.
ass?
But yes, yeah,
Oh
no, this
no,
actually has
okay,
to
so
do
you
with
thought of
it.
something.
No, it actually
Oh,
has to
okay.
do with that. So it wasn't at my school, but a friend of mine that goes to my school told me about a story where, one day over there was like TVs like across the campus, and on
Hmm.
the TVs there was just porn
What?
playing.
Like, on the school?
Yeah, apparently something happened with one of the teachers where they accidentally broadcasted their porn onto every TV screen in the school.
People, the teachers was watching it while they were in school?
Oh, there's a lot of teachers that do that, yeah.
My God.
It's.
Fucking do that. Know that they don't have lives, like, even once they get home because they're doing grading and, like, other stuff for their students, but come on.
That down bad, really? Are you that down bad? Did you have to watch that shit at school?
Mm. Did you have any weird teachers?
Hmm. Um, kind of. I know I was a teacher's favorite. Like, he actually left for like 2 years. No, he left for a year to go work at Chick-fil-A. And then he came back this year, and now he's leaving again because he's realizing this school is shit. But, um, Western Civilization. That was the class that I had him for. Um, and he had the habit of looking at me a lot in class.
Ugh.
But I also had a knack for drawing, because who doesn't? And so I was drawing on a piece of the homework because I didn't really know that it was supposed to be turned in. And then when I handed it up to him, he smirked and went, "Nice," and then walked away. I'm like, And I don't know, one time we were taking a test on our laptops and I was playing a game because I was done. And when I died, he
Yeah.
just made direct eye contact with me and smiled. Like, this man was
Uh,
watching my screen from his laptop and just waiting for me to die just to smile at me. He also treated. There was a kid in a wheelchair. He treated that kid like shit. It was so
oh,
bad. Like, he made him get up out of his seat into his wheelchair, bump through the desk to turn in his paper at the front, to wheel back to sit back into his chair.
fuck.
Yeah, it was nasty. And then he was like smiling about it. And he was like telling the kids, even me, was like, yeah, I think this kid can do what, like, he's fine. Like, just because he's in a wheelchair doesn't mean he's not able to go up and, like, do the things that other kids do. I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to work, man. Be nice, stop being a dick. And you could tell that he just hated this kid for no reason. And it took him a
Uh,
while to get across the school because, well, he's in a wheelchair. And so every time
mm.
he walked into, wheeled into class late.
Every time he walked in.
I'm sorry.
Holy shit.
I'm
Okay,
so
so every time he came into class.
Every time he came into class, I feel so bad. Every time he came into class, the teacher would go like, "Ah, late again." He was like, "I had to use the bathroom." He was like, "Really? Did you have to use the bathroom now? Made you 15 minutes late." He was like, "Yes, sir." Yeah.
Oh,
This poor guy. Thankfully, he graduated though, so we got fuck out of there.
oh, nice.
What about you? Any weird bad teachers?
Mm, that was my Chinese teacher for all four
Oh.
years of high school who was like just awful. I mean, on top of being a bad teacher, she was just kind of a weird old woman. Um, yeah, she did go on like a whole rant about like LGBT people kind of um we talked about how she saw like on the news um something from a pride parade and then was making a big fuss about the lack of clothing that one of the men was wearing. So that basically it was just something over his junk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she was like didn't say it directly, but I got the feeling that she just kind of disapproved of all Pride events because that's the impression that she got of them, and
Mm.
assumed that they were all kind of like that and just like scandalous and um, just inappropriate and bad and yeah. Uh,
Well,
she
when
did
I
talk
went.
about this one student though,
Uh oh.
like came out to her. Um,
Why?
She
What?
said that she told him, so like he came out to her as gay, and then she told him that she didn't care, and then um like was telling us then in present day that she thought that like she doesn't see why anyone should have to tell other people about their sexuality and stuff, and that it should be kind of like the don't ask, don't tell policy. So she was just,
I mean, I agree
yeah.
with half of that. Like, you don't really need to tell people unless you know that you're gonna have an impression with them, or like if you're gonna
Well,
be
yeah, but
conversing
she
with them a
specifically
lot.
meant like coming out. Like people shouldn't be
Come
coming
out.
out
What?
about it, like making a big deal of it.
It's not a big deal. Like, I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not like it shouldn't be made into a big deal. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't become a topic of discussion. Just, hey, I like you. That's it. That's how I came out.
Wait, you first came out to someone that you had a crush on?
Oh. Oh my god, yeah, I did. It was 5th grade. I came
Fifth
out to
grade?
my. Yeah, I was. with my best friend at the time. I actually still talk to her, and she just came over yesterday. But
Oh.
I was talking with her. I'm like, I have a crush on you, and she was like, I have a crush on another girl. Sorry. And I was like, ugh! But it's okay. And then I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I think I'm bi. And she was like, we're gonna talk about this later. And then she did. She's like, you're not. And I was like, okay. And so then I internalized it.
Mm.
And then it came out to her again 7 years later. And
It was
she
just,
believes me now, so.
yeah. I was just repressed for a long ass
Oh,
time.
yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I only realized that I was bi, like, as a start in sophomore year of high school, I think.
Really? Oh, I
I mean, I kind of
remember
already knew
Straight
for at
Asher.
least a couple years before then, but yeah.
Straight Asher. Fuck that. I hate that image in my brain. Oh, it's the exact image where you're standing by like a really big window and you have like a tank
Mm.
top on and you're kind of just smiling. It just radiates no energy.
Yeah.
It's a picture I want to stay far away from in my brain. Weren't we gonna rip each other apart?
Yeah, I don't really have any reason to anymore.
Yes! I got saved. Did you have any weird school field trips?
Um, yes, actually. I had to think
Oh,
for a moment, but yes. It was when I went to school in Washington State. I was third grade and went to a salmon hatchery, which is just kind of like where they'll raise salmon and I guess that's their primary function. Let me look it up really quick just to make sure. Yeah, okay, so it's like for breeding and raising salmon. Um, yeah, so we went there because salmon are important to that state. Then, while we were there, they pulled out a salmon, and then they killed it in front of us.
what?
They took
Wha-
a The person took a knife and sliced open its belly in front of us. Um, at least two girls passed out. My dad was actually there, like, as a parent to help supervise, like, kids, along with the teacher, like, just to help out. And then he had to catch one of the girls who had passed out. Um, After they cut it open, though, they took it over to this counter or, like, table station area to, like, pull out the organs and, like, show us.
What the
Um,
fuck?
so it was one that had eggs in it, which I don't think they meant to do. So they're kind of like, huh, whoops. But then they pulled out this still beating heart of the
Ah!
salmon, and, like,
What?
held it in their hand, like in the palm of their hand, and just to like show it to us so that it was still like beating slightly. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they did that.
So,
Now
wait,
that I'm
how
thinking
old were
about it,
you when this
it was a whole.
happened?
It was third grade, so it was like
Whoa!
8 and 9 year olds.
That's so messed up.
I know that we did other stuff while we were there, like it wasn't just to watch them kill a fish and dissect it. But I can't remember anything else from that trip because just that one experience while we were there was so like intense that that's all that stuck with me.
I did you ever do did you ever go on like a mini trip like outdoor ed?
Like what?
Outdoor ed? Or is that just a thing that my school had?
I don't know what that is.
Outdoor ed is outdoor education where we would travel like 2 hours, 3 hours away to like some other part of the state. And then we would spend like a couple days in some cabins in like the middle of the woods. And then we would like eat there and then we would go on like a couple trips and do some stuff. We would have to like hike everywhere. I was not in the boys' cabin, as we know, but I've heard some stories about apparently someone was knocking on the walls and one kid started crying because he was scared because he thought it was a ghost, but then it was just some other kid that was just playing a prank on him. There's also the toilets there. Ass. Literally. Like, you would flush them and the shower water would go cold. So there was one kid that flushed it while another kid was in the shower, and the guy got out of the shower ass naked and started beating his ass in the bathroom.
Was it intentional on the part of the
No,
kid who
yeah, no,
flushed
he
the
didn't
toilet?
even go pee. He
Okay.
just flushed the toilet,
Yeah.
and the guy just opened up the shower door and just ran at him. I don't know how he did not pass out. This poor kid. The kid that cried and the kid that flushed the toilet also got his canoe flipped upside down, so he was like drowning momentarily. His mom was one of the chaperones, and he had just joined our class like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He left to school right after that trip ended. He just dipped because I don't want to say we bullied him, but our class was
But
rowdy. Our class was very.
okay.
We were the class because we were the biggest. We had 20 students, and we were just known as the annoying kids and the ones that would have no fear. Of course, I was
I
not
would have
one of them.
hated y'all.
Oh no, you would have. I definitely
Yeah.
agree with you. We were the kids that were like in 6th grade. Like, if you're standing in the middle of the school hallway, you know that one 6th grader that would like juke the person that they don't even know in front of them out and just like walk away?
Yes.
Yeah, we were those kids.
Yeah. No, I would have been so fed up with y'all.
I can imagine you shoving one of us down the stairs.
Actually, no. I wasn't ever like a physical bully. I wouldn't even say that like I was an emotional bully. I just wasn't that kind of person.
You just eyed
I don't think I
people.
ever got bullied either. Like even if people tried, then I just straight up didn't notice that they were trying to, and then they lost interest.
Like, damn, you're not even doing anything.
Wes doesn't understand. I'm trying to bully them. Okay.
I think I've gotten bullied more on Discord than I have at school.
Could believe that.
It's so bad. Like, I feel like this is school. I'm reliving 7th grade, but in a Discord server. I just go, "Hi, shut up." Okay. Literally just a repeat.
It's funny, Liam. It's just a joke.
Shut up. It's not like I just want to see you have a reaction or anything. Shut up! Shut up! I know I'm funny. I know I'm funny. I know. But you can literally get me to react any other way. Talk to me. Literally just talk to me. You don't have to be a dick.
I like that when you get really intense, your feelings about something, you kind of put on like an old man impression voice.
It's more of like a pop filter. So it doesn't make my voice as loud. So I'm not like
Okay.
screaming. I almost said concussing my voice, but that's definitely not what that means.
Concussing your voice.
Did you ever like fall asleep in class and get caught for it?
Oh yeah, all the time. It got it wasn't really a thing that I did until high school when I started to get burnt out because I was just so fucking exhausted by the program that I was in at the time. Um, yeah, I would fall asleep a lot in chemistry, partly because it was boring, but also partly because there were no windows in the room, and that made it really
Oh,
hard to stay awake.
yeah.
It was also like right after lunch, pretty much, so it was about that time that I was just like, sleepy.
Have you ever like rested your hand on your chin on your hand when you're about to fall asleep, and then you fall asleep and your hand just moves and you slam your head against the desk?
Yes. Well, I
Okay.
never slammed my head into the desk. I would usually wake myself up just from my head slipping off of my hand. So thankfully, I never like hit my head on the desk.
Um, this was a week ago actually. I was falling asleep in class. And I had my arms
Right.
crossed and like my head on top of my arms while I was like about to fall asleep. And you know
Mm,
like that feeling when you're about to fall asleep, but like you're like falling. I
yeah.
I had a very small dream that I was skateboarding and then I slid forward and I was like hit my face against the concrete. And as soon as that happened, I literally jumped and the entire table just shaked. It shook.
While you were falling asleep in
Yeah,
class.
I just boom, and I just looked up and I was like, huh, huh. And my friend was sitting across from me. He was like, "Are you, dude? Are you okay? Did something happen?" I was like, "Uh, uh, uh, uh." I just, I literally shook the entire table. And the worst part is, the kid sitting next to me, I didn't even know him. So I just
Mm.
made his drink fall over because I woke up. I felt
I
so
guess
bad.
kind of related to that. I do have an embarrassing experience from high school where um so I used to do taekwondo for about 6 years, and that's a lot of kicking, right? Like I learned how to do a lot of different kicks, and I thought that they were fun. So sometimes when I was in school, I would just do them. I don't know why. I probably looked like the biggest like asshole for some reason. I would just do them because I thought that they were funny. Um, and I did this one called a spinning hook kick where you have to like spin around like around your back essentially and like kick with your heel. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like using that momentum
Yeah.
to kick out with your heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except I didn't keep track of how much space I had. And I caught the bottom of a desk with my foot. Except the way that the tables were set up in that room was that it was four desks to a table that were pushed together inwards. So like, I picked that first desk over, and it took the others with them, or
Oh
with it. So all of them just like crashed to the ground at the same time. And this was like in a break period between like we had sixth and seventh period in the same room. And then it was like just kind of like the break time in between where people doing whatever and talking and stuff. The moment that those tables hit the ground, like the room got silent and immediately everyone looked over at me and I just like yeah. I used to be really embarrassed about that for a long time, and now I just think it's funny because no one else. I'm pretty sure no one else who was there actually remembers it happening. Um,
No, I think what's more
but yeah,
embarrassing
I
is
just
that
apologize
you
to the
just
teachers and then had to
kicked
pick it up.
shit in the middle of
I
school.
would just I didn't kick objects. I would just kick.
Have you ever kicked
In my
someone?
defense, one other kid in my Chinese class would do it too sometimes, and he just did that. No one made fun of him for it.
I can see why your Chinese teacher hated you.
Well, she actually liked that kid because he was a native speaker, so he was actually good at
Oh,
Chinese because he already knew the language.
oh my god. No.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I'm not even gonna go on a tangent on that man. There's like a pile of bones for a teacher at my school. He's
Okay.
he literally reminds me of Prince Philip pre-death.
Oh God. Was he that old?
He is that old.
He is that
He's
old. Okay.
literally a dinosaur, and he's just in the school. He just exists.
Hmm.
I hate that bitch. That's why I'm not even taking that class. I'm just gonna. I have to take it, but I'm just not going to.
What class does he teach?
Spanish too.
Uh,
But I'm gonna opt to take a different language online over the summer. That's how much I hate that bitch.
okay. What are you gonna be doing instead, do you think?
I already know a lot of German, so I'm probably just gonna keep going with that.
Do?
Yeah.
I didn't know this about you.
Only 'cause I did it for fun and then I never picked it back up. I just know a lot of
Oh,
German.
okay, okay. know a decent, or okay, I'm not even gonna go that far. I know how to read Korean just because of the K-pop phase that I had
Oh my
in
god! You were one
late
of
middle school,
those!
early high school.
Korea boo!
No, I really was. I wanted to learn the language desperately, just in case, like, I would ever need it.
Oh my god. When would you need it?
You know, just in case.
In case of what? Some Korean person happens to send you a note. Not even like know how to speak it, you just know how to read it. I think it would be
It
more
really
useful to
was.
learn Japanese.
No, yeah, I wish I had fucking gotten more into like Japanese. Even if I had been like the most cringe anime fan, like to be walking those halls, I wish I had learned Japanese at the time instead. Then I could actually like kind of use it now, or at least because I still watch anime sometimes, like
Yeah, you
could be
can watch
cool to
anime
know
without
that.
subtitles. It just feels so much better.
But no, I was stupid. At least I know how to read Korean. So when my mom and I were trying to find some ingredients to make this one Korean dish together, um, like some of the stuff that we needed didn't have English translations on the labels. So she just straight up had to ask me what it said.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess
And
it's
then
useful for that.
yeah, so then I helped, and we actually got what we needed from that.
Good job. Good job. You learned Korean to cook one thing.
To be able to identify this one spice. Yeah,
Is this
pretty
salt?
much.
Yeah, alright. This is 2 years down drain. Just. I, do you know Chinese that well?
Oh, not really. I've retained the basics, kind of. And like as far as the tones go, kind of kept those. There's a lot of really specific vocab that we learned that it's totally gone by now.
Do you know how to say penis in Chinese?
I don't.
That's so unfortunate. Do you know how to say
Wasn't
goodbye
one
in
that we ever.
Chinese?